Well, good morning. So I hope I'm audible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we will see some of the lab programs which we have. So we haven't dealt them yet. So we will see some of the initial lab programs we have around some. As per syllabus, we have to do 16 programs. So out of some 16 programs, we will see some programs. And we will record them. I will tell you how we have to do, but first of all, let me discuss those programs with you. Okay, some of the programs today. So it will be somewhat a revision for the newcomers also because we are going to start working with various constructs which we have various concepts which we have already discussed earlier. So it will be like a revision. So you know that we started actually uh, discussing about what is C language. Okay, so what is C language? What is the structure of a C program? Uh, then who invented it? What is the structure of the C program? See, these are all the important topics which you need to have an idea. I just gave you, say, an assignment where you prepared an assignment regarding various topics. So one of the students asked me to give the important questions regarding the first two units so that you can prepare for your SEM examinations. But mostly whatever I have given in the assignments, those are actually enough for you. But anyhow, I will go through the syllabus once again and I will discuss the coming classes what type of questions you are going to come across. I will give them so that you can prepare the notes accordingly. Okay, so now as we discussed earlier, about the C language, you can read it, and if any doubt is there, you can ask me later on. So I am just going to with some important points here. So when we talk about a C program, it should have a function definition. What actually is a function also we have discussed. It is a set of instructions which aim to perform a specific goal or an objective there. So we are going to write a function where it is going to perform a set of instructions. It is going to perform set of options to perform certain objective there. Okay, so it comprises of the header means the comprises of two parts: variable declaration and executable statements. This also we have the main thing here is whatever the variables which are required for us, those are to be declared before we start using them. Okay, so after that, all the statements are placed in the braces. Then we have the statement terminator, which every statement terminates with a semicolon. Then we have a C standard library, where we have a library of functions, whatever the header files which are required in our programs. It's not just including stdio.h. Whatever the other header files which are required for us, those header files are included in our program, and then we start using it. Is my screen visible to you? Yes, I forgot to ask that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Visible.
okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay. Fine, fine. Then any comments which are there which can be placed in this slash asterisk and asterisk slash there. Okay, then we have some few programs which you have done. See here, this is what I was telling you, that any variable which you want to declare, it should be declared first before any executable. This is an executable statement which actually displaying the value which is stored in n there. So any variable, whatever the variables are required, which we should declare them before any executable statement starts. And a variable is the named memory location where the value can be stored. And then we have the rules which are writing for the variables. This you can go, these are self-explanatory. You can go through them. Then we have you should not use any keywords which are actually the keywords which are meant has a special meaning. These cannot be used as variable names. Then we have different data types. You know that the data types actually specifies the type of data which you are going to store in the memory. So integer occupies 2 bytes of memory, character 1 byte, float and double. Okay, respectively occupies 4 and 8 bytes of memory there. Okay, then we have the additional modifiers also, because the range, because in general in mathematics we have a range of values which ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so because of that reason, of course, as I told you that we have the values which ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity in general mathematics, but in C language it's not like that, because we have some limited space to store the values, like integer which occupies only 2 bytes of memory. Okay, they can be used only numbers between minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. Okay, so for that reason, we cannot accommodate much more values to use to get more higher ranges of values. We have to add some additional modifiers, so like short and long, signed and unsigned. So when we declare some variable as a long integer or signed long integer, then it occupies 4 bytes of memory, and the range changes from 2,147,483,648 and to the positive value there. So if you want to only positive values, then you can go for unsigned long integer. Like that, whatever is flexible for you, whatever that is required for you, you can declare them and you can use them. Okay. Then we have formatted output, input, output statements. This also we have used the printf and scanf. So in specific format, whatever is the type of format which you want to display it on the screen, whether you want to display it in means the integer or float or character or string, whatever it is, a particular type of format. In if you want to design your output, if you want to design your output screen, then you can go for this formatted input and output statements there. So printf is a formatted output statement, okay, and scanf is a formatted input statement there. So the printf actually consists of characters which will be displayed as they appear. So for example, see here, so value in I. So as it appear, it will be displayed on the screen. As it appear, it will be displayed on the screen. That's what is the meaning for the first statement. Then it has the format specifications which define the output format of the display of each item. So you can display means this percentage D, percentage I, percentage O, whatever you are using. These are all the format specifications. So what type of value which you need to be displayed, that is a format specification which we generally give there. Then we have then escape sequences where you like slash and these are the non-printable characters which actually used to design your output there, the escape sequences. We have a number of escape sequences, you can go through them. Likewise, if you want to scan some values, you can go for this scanf statements, which is allowed to scan a specific value, specific type. Like if you give their percentage B, then it is actually used for scanning an integer value. Then we have the format specifiers. You can go through this entire table where it is where actually it is actually displaying you. Sorry, the table actually gives you the list of codes which can be used for various type of data to be printed on the screen there. Okay, also the additional modifiers can also be used. Okay, then we have see here, this example will be more clear for you. So 140, M is 140. So if you want to display it in the as an integer, then you can use it for percentage B. But if you want to display the same number in an octal form, no need of changing it. Simply if you give percentage O, then it is displayed in the octal form. You know that octal form actually uses only 8 characters to display. Okay, 0 to 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then again 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, decimal form means we use 10 symbols, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to write the numbers. Whereas in case of octal form, it uses only 8 characters there, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in the hexadecimal form, to display the numbers, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. Like that, they are been written there. Okay, so without actually changing the m value, so if when I give percentage x here, so m 140 will be displayed in the hexadecimal form automatically. Okay, so percentage e, so if you are using percentage f, it is used in signed decimal note, I mean float notation there. But if you go for the percentage e, then it will be displayed in the scientific notation. In scientific notation, so you may display the value 12.345 can be displayed at 0.1234 e. Okay, e plus 2. The meaning of that is 0.1234 into 10 to the 10 square. So if you multiply 100 to that, it becomes 12.345. Okay, that's what. So you are leaving it to the system how actually you are supposed to display the value on the screen. Okay, then you have the escape sequences also. For new line characters, you have slash n. So for carriage return slash or backspace. Okay, for single quotes, double quotes to display on the screen, you are going to use the escape sequences. So you can try that. Any doubt is there? Again, I will clarify in the next classes. Then we discussed about the formatted input-output functions there. We have getchar, getche, getch, putchar. So these all things. So putchar is actually used to write a single character on the screen. So on the window, if you want to write a single character, you can go for a putchar there. So getS and putSC is used to read a string from the keyboard, and putS is used to write a string from the keyboard. And about this difference between these three things, already I have discussed. Of course, for the newcomers, just remember the difference between getchar, getch, and getch is. I will explain you in the program here. For example, if you are giving getchar, means you both are used. All three things are used to read a character from the keyboard. All three things are used to read a character from the only difference here is when you're using getchar, you have to press the character as well as the enter key. So both enter key means you have to press the enter key also. Then only the given character will be stored in CH. Okay, means that's what reads a character from keyboard with echo. With echo in the sense whatever you are giving, it is displayed on the screen. Whatever you are typing, whatever character you are giving, it is displayed on the screen, and you need to press the enter key. So once you press the enter key, then only the value the A will be stored in CH. That's the meaning of that. Reads a character from keyboard with echo and waits for carriage return. Carriage return is nothing but your enter key. Okay, likewise, to go for get CHE, the meaning of here is reads a character from keyboard. So whatever you are giving, character A or B or whatever it is, with echo means whatever you are giving will be displayed on the screen. But now you need not press enter key. Once just you press B, B will be stored in CH. That is the meaning of that. Okay, and if you are going for get CH, now see here, reads a character from keyboard with echo. So both are displayed on the screen, whatever you are giving. So reads a character from keyboard without echo. Without echo means no prompting is done in case of get CH. So I have pressed C here, but it is not visible to you. It's not visible means it is not echoed on the screen. అంటే మనం ఏదైతే టైప్ చేస్తామో అది స్క్రీన్ మీద కనపడదండి. అయినా సరే ఏమవుతుందంటే మనం ఏ క్యారెక్టర్ అయితే ఇచ్చామో ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ వెళ్ళి సిహెచ్లో స్టోర్ అయిపోతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, సో మనం ఇక్కడ ఎంటర్ కూడా ప్రెస్ చేయనవసరం లేదు. మనం ప్రెస్ చేసిన క్యారెక్టర్, నేను ఇప్పుడు సి ప్రెస్ చేశాను ఇమాజిన్ చేయండి. సో సి ప్రెస్ చేస్తే ఆ సి వెళ్ళి సిహెచ్లో స్టోర్ అవుతుంది. కానీ ఇక్కడ సి అన్నది మీకు ఎకో ప్రాంప్ట్ అవ్వదు అనమాట. వేరస్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ గెట్ సిహెచ్ఈ మనం ఏ క్యారెక్టర్ అయితే ఇచ్చామో అది స్క్రీన్ మీద కూడా కనపడుతుంది, ఎంటర్ ప్రెస్ చేయకుండానే సిహెచ్లో స్టోర్ అవుతుంది. అదే గెట్ క్యార్ యూజ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏ కంపల్సరీగా అంటే మనం ఇచ్చిన క్యారెక్టర్ కూడా మనకు కనబడుతుంది, అలాగే ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ స్టోర్ అవ్వాలంటే కంపల్సరీగా మీరు ఏం చేయాలి, ఎంటర్ కీని ప్రెస్ చేయాలండి. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ దీస్ త్రీ థింగ్స్ హియర్. ఓకే, నౌ then we have different operators in C. You can, these are also self-explanatory. You can go for these operators and you can study. These are the programs which you can study. These are all things you can study. And if you have any doubt, we will have a doubt sessions uh, one day. We will dedicate the entire session on that. Then we have the constructs, mainly the selection constructs, which are used to whenever, if you want to use it whenever a selective piece of code to be executed. So selective piece of the code, in the sense here, if the condition is true, then only the statements are executed, otherwise the statements are skipped. So if the condition is given, if it is true, then only the statements are executed, otherwise the statements are skipped here. Okay, so we have different forms of if here. Okay, so whatever we have learned until now, basing upon that, we have our first lab program for you. Let me discuss our first lab program. So our first lab program is this one. The program to read XY coordinates of 3 points and display a triangle. So there is a triangle. Okay, there is a triangle. We have XY coordinates. So we have XY coordinates. So then we have to display, we need to calculate the area of the triangle. We need to calculate the area of the triangle. So we have the means, let us assume that this is x coordinate x1, y1, and this is x2 comma y2. Then we have x3 comma y3. So when these coordinates are given, you need to find the area of the triangle. So when the sides are given, okay, you know that if suppose this is A, B, C, these sides are A, B, C. So this is A, this is B, this is C. Then we have a formula for you, square root of s into s minus A into s minus B into s minus C. I hope I'm correct with the formula. If anything wrong, someone can correct me. Am I right? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Is it the formula to find the area of triangle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now. So now when the coordinates are given x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3, we need to find the area of the triangle using this formula. That is our program now. So what we have done in the program, let me see now. See there, so I have included stdio.h, I have included math.h, I have included conio.h, std.lib.h. So whatever the header files are required, I have included math.h here. So we haven't discussed this math.h again. So I would like you people to explore more about this math.h as an assignment for you. So what type of functions math.h is providing. So some of the functions one of the function I will discuss now. So I have ax, ay, bx, by, and cx, cy. Okay, so a, b, c, side and area, some of the variables which are declared in the form of means all variables are float there. Then we have the first coordinates which are declared, means reading here. So this is, for example, ax, this is ay. When I'm reading bx, by, then I am reading the coordinates cx, cy. Okay, 3 coordinates are read there. Enter the bx, by coordinates and cx, cy coordinates. Now, after reading these coordinates, we have a formula. Okay, in the coordinate geometry, we have a formula. So as per your syllabus, see, I will read the question and I will explain you what we have done. So it is a program to read XY coordinates of 3 points and calculate the area of triangle formed by them and print the coordinates of the 3 points and the area of the triangle. We have to print the coordinates and also the area of the triangle. What is the output from your program if 3 points given are in the straight line? So there is a chance that when we are giving these coordinates, there is a chance there all three coordinates are on the straight line. So if suppose these coordinates are on the straight line, imagine that ax ay, bx by, cx cy are on the straight, means are on the same line there. Then what happens here is they are called as collinear. Okay, those points are called as collinear then. So first what we are doing here is after reading those values, so I am finding whether these coordinates are collinear or not. So I'm finding whether these coordinates are collinear or not. So to find the collinearity of the coordinates, we have a formula which we have learnt in coordinate geometry, that ax into by minus cy plus bx into cy minus ay plus cx into ay minus by. So this is what is the formula. So you can Google it and you can find the formula also. So if this value is 0, if the collinearity value is 0, then we can say that given 3 coordinates are collinear, so area of the triangle is 0. So we don't, means the triangle is not formed when all the 3 coordinates are on the straight line. The triangle is not formed, then the area of the triangle is 0. If not, if the coordinates are not collinear, then what I have to do here is, for calculating A, B, C, first of all, I need to find the sides here. Sides, the calculation of sides is square root of ax minus yy, ax minus bx into ax minus, means square root of ax minus bx into ax minus bx plus ay minus by into ay minus by. That is nothing but squaring of that. Okay, got it. So I am finding the a, b, c value here, finding the a, b, c value. After that, I am finding the side. A is equals to a plus b plus c by 2. Then I have a formula of side into side a minus a, side minus b into side minus c. Okay. Then the area of the triangle is displayed. These are all the mathematical formulas actually. Got it? What we have done, I have used this if else there. Just now I explained you that if else is, if this condition is true, this statement is executed. Otherwise, this block will be executed. So first we will find whether they are collinear or not. If they are collinear, then only this is displayed. Otherwise, this all stuff is carried out and then the area of the triangle is displayed. Okay. Understood or not? Any doubt for anyone?
No, sir.
No doubt, sir.
Sir, why we found coordinates, sir?
Pardon?
Why we found coordinates, sir?
Why we?
Why we found coordinates? అంటే ax, bx, ay, by, cy.
మనం రీడ్ చేయాలి కదా, మనకి ఇచ్చిన ప్రాబ్లం స్టేట్మెంట్ అదే కదా.
అంటే సింపుల్ గా సైడ్ ఏబిసి ఇస్తే డైరెక్ట్ గా కట్ అని అవుదా?
అలా కాదు, నేను ఇప్పుడు అదే చదివాను. నీకేంటంటే మన సిలబస్ లో ఇచ్చిన క్వశ్చన్ అదే చదివాను. ఇంకా సింపుల్ గా చెప్పాలంటే హాఫ్ బేస్ ఇంటూ హైట్ ఉంటే ఇంకా సింపుల్ అయిపోద్ది కదా.
అవును సార్, హాఫ్ బేస్ ఇంటూ హైట్ ఇచ్చిన.
కాకపోతే మనకి ఇచ్చిన క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ టు రీడ్ XY coordinates of 3 points and then calculate the area of triangle formed by them and print the coordinates of the 3 points and the area of triangle. What is the output of the program if the 3 points are in the straight line? So this is what is the problem statement which is given to us in our syllabus. So as per the problem statement, we have carried out this. Got my point?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So that is our first program. Next program is actually C program to find the which generates 100 random numbers in a range of 1 to 100. So it is going to means the program which should generate 100 random numbers. 100 random numbers between 1 to 100. So I should have only 1 to 100 there. Then stored in an array. It should be stored in an array, and then it should be displayed using for loop, while loop, and do while loops. So you know about for loops, while loops, and do while loops here. So we have, we'll go for switch case later on. So for loops, so for initialization value, so value is initialized first. So the looping is the set of statements will be repeated for a certain fixed number of times. Any looping constructs are used to perform the set of statements for a certain number of times until a condition is met there. So here we are in for loop, what we are doing, we are just initializing them. First initialization that is done, then the condition is checked. If the condition is true, the statements are performed, and while going back, the reevaluation parameter is performed. Then again, the condition is checked, and if it is true, the statements are performed next. And then again, the reevaluation parameters until the condition is true, they have been performed. Likewise, we have means you have a number of programs. You can go through the programs. Then we have break statement, which is used here, means without completing the loop. If you want to come out of the loop there in between, means before the condition is, means still the condition is true, but you want to come out of the loop, then you can go for the break statement. So break statement is used to jump out of the loop without performing further iterations. Okay, then we have of course the nested first and these all things, you can go through them. And we have the while construct, while condition. So here the condition, if the condition is true, then only the statements are executed. Otherwise, those statements are skipped. Again, this also, until the condition is true, the set of statements will be continuously executed. And we have the do while loop, where do statements. So once the statements are executed, then it is going to test for the condition. If it is true, then the statements are repeated. Otherwise, the statements are skipped. So the main difference between while and do while is, in while, first the condition is checked, then if the condition is true, then only the statements are executed. Whereas in case of do while loop, so first the statements are executed and then the condition is checked. The main difference between these two here is, in do while here, the statements means the set of statements will be performed at least once, that they are performed at least once. See this example, particularly this example. I have initialized I with 11. While 11 less than or equal to 10 is false, immediately it comes to end and only end is displayed. Whereas in case of do while, I is initialized to 11, do first 11 is printed, then I plus plus, I becomes 12, 12 less than 10 is false, then it is going to quit the loop there. So if your program requires at least once the loop should be executed, go for do while. Otherwise, you can go for the while constructor. So basing upon these three things, and also in the next program, he just asked us to store the values into an array and display them. You know that what is an array? It is a collection of elements of same type referenced by common name. So we have the number of elements which are here of same type. All elements of same types which are referred by a common name. So indexing starts with 0 and the elements are stored. Now, basing upon these things, our next program is there. So C program which generates 100 random numbers. So randomly the numbers are being generated between 1 to 100, and they are stored in an array and display those numbers using for, while, and do while. So you need to display those numbers using for, while, and do while. Just a second. Okay. See here, what will happen? Yeah. See here, are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I'm just executing this program. Yeah. Yes. Yes. See, randomly some numbers are being generated between 1 and 100, and those are actually displayed using the for loop. Same numbers are displayed using the for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So what we have done in this program here is, it's an easy program actually, but the new thing which you are going to learn here is, because those 100 numbers are to be supposed to be stored in an array. So we are declaring an array of size 100. Then we have, for c is equals to 0, c less than 100, c plus plus. Num of c means num of 0 is equals to rand function. So I'm going to use this function. This function actually, so you need to know only about this function in the program. Rest of the things you already you can understand very easily. This random function is actually used to generate pseudo numbers ranging from 0 to the maximum range here. Means they are going to generate the numbers between 0 to the maximum range. Max range, whatever. Max range. Max range in the sense, for example, we have just seen that the integers will be generated from 0 to some 32,767. So assume that this random function generates the numbers from 0 to 36,767. Assume that. So it is going to generate some random numbers there. Okay, now first time, if suppose ran in the sense, if it is generating some 5, if it is generating 5 percentage 100, 5 percentage 100 will be 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So 6 will be stored in num of C. So why 1 I am adding here? So if suppose random is generating 0, 0 percentage 100 will be 0. So because I want the numbers between 1 and 100, so that is the reason why I am adding 1. So 0 plus 1 will be 1, 1 will be stored in that particular number. So likewise, 100 numbers will be, so if suppose if it is generating some 3256, 3256 divided by 100 will be 32. So 32.56 actually. So because we are going to take only integer portion there, so it will be 32. So 32 plus 1, 33 will be stored in that, like, so if by the time the loop completes, by the time this entire loop completes there, so in each location, 100 different numbers will be stored. That's what has happened here. That's what has been happened here. Okay, so control. That's what has been happened. So first some 47 is stored, then the 31 is stored in num of. So num of 0, 47 is stored, num of 131 is stored, num of 283 is stored, then 91, then 57. Like all the numbers have been stored there. 100 numbers have been stored. So once the 100 numbers are stored, after storing, the next portion here is store the numbers in the array, then displayed using for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Using 3 different loops I need to display. So using for loop I am displaying for C is equals to 0, C less than 100, C plus plus. So the numbers are being displayed there. Then using while loop. So first initialization is done, then the condition is checked, then number is printed, and again C plus plus, it has been incremented, and again it will go back, it will continue the loop. So if C is initialized to 0, 0 less than 100, printf percentage 3D. So 3D is used to get space between two numbers, 3 spaces. Num of 0 is displayed, C plus plus, C becomes 1, 1 less than 100 true, num of 1 is displayed, then C becomes 2, num of 2 is displayed, like that up to num of 99. Then using do while loop, again C is initialized to 0, then num of C, so num of 0 is displayed, so C plus plus, C becomes 1, 1 less than 100 is true, again it will go back, and the same process will be continued. Okay, so that is about this particular program. The new thing which you are learning here is about this rand function, which generates the pseudo numbers between 0 to the maximum range. Okay, so any doubt regarding this? Any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Fine. Next is the third program is about C program which generates 100 random real numbers between 10.0 to 20.0. So I want to generate the numbers between 10.0 to 20.0 and sort them in descending order. I need to sort them. So here, see, observe that I'm using insertion sort here. I'm using insertion sort. So here, a array, a float array is declared. The least value will be 10.0 and the highest value, upper value will be 20.0. So before sorting, so A of 0 is equals to, because I want to convert them into float. Random actually generates a pseudo natural number, as I've told you that I want to typecasting. I'm using the typecasting here. Typecasting in this sense, converting one data type into another data type. One data type into another data type. So float of rand. So some random value has been generated here, divided by float of rand max. Rand max will give you the maximum value. What is the maximum value which has been generated there? Okay, so I'm dividing then I'm multiplying with u minus L. U minus L means 20 minus 20.0 into minus 10.0. So I'm multiplying with 10 there. So whatever the value is obtained, so with that I'm adding L there. అంటే లీస్ట్ వాల్యూకి 10.0కి మనం ఇక్కడ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం, ఎందుకంటే మనకి 10 నుంచి 20 మధ్యలోనే రావాలి కాబట్టి మ్యాథమెటికల్ గా మనం ఏంటంటే ఈ ఫార్ములాని అప్లై చేసాం. సో అది ఏం జరుగుతుంది అన్నది మీరే ఒకసారి వర్కౌట్ చేసి చూడండి. సో ఐఎమ్ నాట్ దట్ ఆల్సో ఐఎమ్ లీవింగ్ యూజ్ అన్ అసైన్మెంట్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ సంథింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్ సీ హియర్. సో మ్యాథమెటికల్లీ వాట్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ హియర్. సో మనకి 10.0 నుంచి 20.0 మధ్యలో వాల్యూ కావాలి. సో వాట్ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్, ఐఎమ్ జనరేటింగ్ ఎ ర్యాండమ్ వాల్యూ which is typecasted into float, then again the rand max which is actually typecasted. Okay, then it is multiplied into 10 and then the value is added with L and it is stored in A of I. So after that I'm just displaying that what are the values generated. Okay, this also is there, I will show you. I have that program with me. Yes, it is. See here. Okay, so after that we'll execute it. Here it is. These values are being generated. These values are being generated. So in 10.11, 10.04, 13.35, like that, 100 values are being generated. So once the values are being generated, okay, so before sorting, we are actually displaying that, and after that, I'm using the insertion sort. So what I have done here is, I have passed that array and the maximum, the 100 value to the insertion sort function there. So once after that insertion sort, so because it is called by reference when you are passing an array, so already we have discussed this topic earlier when I discussed about the insertion sort there. Okay, then after that the values have been displayed. That's the reason why I'm getting this output there. So before sorting and after, before sorting in the sense, because I'm generating the number and I'm displaying that number here. So for example, when I is 0, A of 0, the maximum value is means the random value is generated, and in A of 0 this oh goodness, just wait. This 10.11, 10.11 is actually stored. Then when I becomes 1, again this 10.04 will be stored. When I becomes 2, 13.35 is stored. I becomes 3, 13.33. Like that, 100 values are stored and those are being displayed. Then the insertion sort function is called. Already we discussed insertion sort function in the earlier classes. Okay, when I discussed about the sorting there. So those numbers are being sorted in the insertion sort function using its logic. Then after coming back, then if suppose these values are being displayed, no, all the values are displayed in the ascending order, because I want the question here in our syllabus is to display the numbers, sort the numbers in the descending order. So in the descending order, the numbers are been sorted and these are been displayed. Got it? Any doubt regarding this?
No, sir. No doubt.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, fine. We will stop here today. So just I discussed these three programs with you. I discussed these three programs with you. So I will share the code. I will share the code, but I will appreciate you people if you try to develop the same code by yourself. Okay, one day I will share the code definitely, but you go with the syllabus copy. Already we are having a syllabus copy with you people, so I will appreciate. So if you develop the code by yourself for these three programs. Okay, so the three programs in the syllabus, those are 1, 2, and 4th programs. So three programs we have discussed. So try to develop the code by yourself. I explained you the code. So try to write the code by yourself. Then I will tell you how you have to write the record and those all things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine, Amma.